And final part 5 of 5. Part 5 of 5, we've got the JSoccer magazine vlog. And by the way, if you got this far, we are JSoccer magazine. I'm Alan Gibson, this is Joe Broadfoot, and you really should be getting yourself JSoccer magazine. In fact, if you've suffered enough and you've come through all the way to part 5, I'm willing to offer you JSoccer magazine. It's a pay what you like PDF offer we have on JSoccer.com, by the way, www.jsoccer.com. I'm willing to let anybody out there take all 12 issues, issue 1 to 12, PDF.
For the price of?
$10.
$10.
Send $10 via PayPal to alan@jsoccer.com, ALAN@jsoccer.com.
US dollars?
Leave us your address. Yeah, I'm saying $10.
Oh,
1,000 yen, $10, £7,
Monopoly
€8,
money?
I don't know. I'll take Monopoly money if you can take a picture of it and fax it through. But yeah, you, just write to me at alan@jsoccer.com and ask me for a deal, because we want to spread the word of Japanese football, and in particular, JSoccer.com could use some income to pay the rent. Say no more. So where were we? Sagan Tosu 1, Nagoya Grampus 0.
We're on that. We're on the Sagans and we're
Sagan
on the
Tosu, the team we love to hate. They are physical, they are dirty, they park the bus, they park 2 buses sometimes. Against Vissel Kobe, as we were just saying in part 4, they really were unlucky to be unlucky. They really were very lucky to actually come out of that game with a win. But you can't blame Vissel. I mean, you can't blame them. They parked the bus. Vissel Kobe coulda, shoulda, but didn't. And a lot of players come out of them with a few bruises. And
have they got any exceptional talents in their team?
The
Tosus?
key point, I think, is Toyoda, who's the other guy that we were discussing, who should have gone to the World Cup as the big guy.
Oh,
He was in the final 28 or whatever it was, and then he was cut out of the 23. So he was on standby. I think it was final 30 actually. The bad news for Sagan Tosu is that he's on the radar of some clubs in Europe.
So he could be on the way.
I presume he's got an agent there undermining them and just saying, "Hey, why don't you go overseas, my son?" We've got it in for the agents today, haven't we? We've got it in for the agents today.
Well, you always have.
But if they lose Toyota, I think they will struggle to score goals. He is a bit of a great player. He used to play for Kyoto Sanga way back in the day. He wasn't really that impressive in those days. He's grown. He's like 31, 32 now. So I mean,
and
he's basically
bigger build now.
He's in his prime. He's in his prime. He's scoring goals. He can push anyone off the ball. So he's the man. And if they lose that man, they will lose their chance of coming top 3. I still don't think they're going to be champions by a long shot. Anyway.
So you don't even think they'll finish in the top 3?
I don't think they will.
No.
I think even if they continue the way they are going, teams like Frontale, Reds, even Antlers, and the aforementioned Gamba Osaka, and even Vissel Kobe, plus Sanfrecce Hiroshima, they're all going to be pushing for the top, and so something's got to give, out. You know. And I think it'll be Sagan Tosu.
It's just the fact they've got a strong defence. The fact they're the second strongest defence in the J-League at the moment, that says something in itself.
Yep. And it's a funny thing, because they came up from J2 3 years ago, and in their maiden year they did a very similar thing, where they played very well. They were top or thereabouts for a long time with a fantastic defence, and then they stumbled a bit and they ended up mid-table. And then last year everyone found them out, and they've got
a record really of slipping away at the final hurdle.
They have the experience this time of being at the top, so
perhaps they
you never know, do you?
Maintain it a bit longer.
But let's look at Nagoya Grampus as basically the last team that we're looking at.
Yes, and do they miss Pixie? He's been gone a long time, right? When did he
Well, at the
leave?
start of this season, he was on the way, or rather the end of last season. And they got Akira Nishino, who won ACL and championships with Gamba Osaka. Took 1996 Japan Olympic team to, I was going to say to Atlanta, but they actually played their games in Miami and wherever else because of the vagaries of Olympic football. They beat Brazil 1-0 in that 1996 Olympics. And he was a great manager. He took Gamba up, and then finally, after 10 years of success, let's face it, he decided to, and Gamba, I think, mutually decided that it was the end. And that's what I think that Nagoya Grampus have done with Pixie. They mutually agreed that it was stagnating and it was time to make a change.
Lot.
Pixie's lot, yeah. Pixie lot. There's one for you UK people there.
Got to throw him in.
But Akira Nishino has, well, he joined Gamba, he joined Vissel Kobe and failed miserably. Got the boot. And he's not exactly setting Nagoya Grampus on fire, is he?
Which is just as well if you've ever got home insurance.
This is true, and we wouldn't want whale blubber being burnt everywhere, would we? So I think, to be honest, seriously, they won. They won the 4 in a row. Was it? No, they drew 4 in a row. Sorry, we should have it somewhere on this screen over here. Yes, see,
Look at all those triangles.
So they drew 4 in a row. So
says
they were pulling it together, But the fact is that they've only lost 1 in 5. You can do statistics.
Yeah, statistics.
Statistics.
Yeah. What do they say about lies, and statistics? But then they're certainly draws in anyone's.
But they've conceded
dictionary.
30 goals. Isn't that the worst?
Third
worst, isn't it?
Yeah,
worst. Apart from the hapless Omiya Ardija and Tokushima Vortis, they've conceded 30 goals in a defence that boasts Tullio. Although, to be honest, he doesn't really play in defence much. He keeps running up and down the field, and then let me come back. That was my excuse for a cough.
Are you suggesting he's got a touch of the Roonies?
Well, he certainly needs a hair transplant. But Yokohama Marinos will be looking for another manager, I believe, if they don't pull it out of the bag very soon.
So how long has he got?
How long has he got? Who are they playing next? There's a queue
to
move into. Who are they going to be playing next? So let's look at the forthcoming games. And Nagoya v Kashima Antlers, who are on a roll, aren't they? Kashima haven't lost in 5, although 3 of those were draws. And they thrashed Hiroshima 5-1 in the last game.
A sound thrashing.
So Nagoya, if they don't win this one, I think they may well be looking for... Hello, Mr. Gottby.
It's not looking promising.
These teams are going to be fighting over Afshin Gottby.
But at home, they're more formidable than away, would you say? Can't really tell from that league table.
Formidable.
You need to click
so we've got about 2 minutes to look at the Shimizu v Tokushima.
Right.
Bottom dwellers against future bottom dwellers. Excuse me.
The bottom dwellers will probably lose that one. Although they're making a bit of a comeback.
I get the feeling that Tokushima might surprise Espulse.
You think so?
With a new manager and the fact that they lost the big first game 4-0. And Tokushima with the new players and a couple of draws recently or whatever it was, Vonfare Kofu against Sendai. Kofu, again, they've got 3 draws in the last 3. They've only lost 1 out of the last 5, shall we put it that way. And Niigata, as you were saying, have got a pretty pathetic goal difference, an average defence, a very inconsistent team, and I think they're on the way down again. And Kofu could well sneak it past Sendai.
Oh, you think so?
Maybe.
So
Omiya Ardija v Gamba. We've already
drawn on that. Omiya, Gamba, we talked about that.
Gamba are going to thrash Omiya, and they're going to be looking for a new manager.
I think so.
Big one is Kawasaki Frontale against Urawa Reds. Frontale were whipped by Vissel, and we'll be looking to come back from that.
And now they're going to be creamed by Urawa.
They are indeed. Urawa Reds are... no, I think Frontale will come back out of that one.
I think so.
Take out the Reds.
No.
Yokohama F Marinos against Kashiwa Vissel. That's a tough one.
Draw.
Yokohama F Marinos fans will be looking for a loss, which will be the last straw for their manager.
Yeah. They may... Well, I guess they may get it.
But they might grab a draw out of it. They've got
being there,
3
the home
draws
side.
and a loss. As I said, Nagoya v Kashima. Kashima are going to stuff them, and Nagoya may also be looking for a manager. Cerezo Osaka v FC Tokyo. FC Tokyo on a roll, 4 wins and a draw in the last 5. Cerezo Osaka, dire 4 draws.
Surely that run's got to end for Cerezo. So
they're at home.
A draw.
Maybe we should be going to see that game.
That's exactly what I think. Entertaining game.
I think FC Tokyo can't last forever. Cerezo's bad form can't last forever.
So I'm thinking a draw.
A 0-0 draw. Yeah, we definitely got to see that one.
Yeah.
Kobe v Niigata. Well, as we've said, Niigata have got their problems and they're on a roll downwards, whereas Kobe will need to win to prove that they are a force to be reckoned with. Yes. So a home win for Vissel Kobe, don't you think? You think so?
May well be. Where are Niigata in the league? They're mid-table, 10th. Form's pretty poor.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if Vissel were going to make a comeback, that's the time to do it. So I'll give them a 1-0 there.
And then the big one, Sanfrecce Hiroshima against Sagan Tosu.
The big one.
I mean, Sanfrecce, if they lose this one, they'll be 13 points adrift of Sagan Tosu.
I think Sanfrecce are gonna win that.
So I reckon we're in agreement there that Sanfrecce will take out Tosu the collapse will begin for Tosu. Sanfrecce, the recovery will begin. Not quite enough recovery to overtake Gamba, who will be winning the championship in November.
I want to change my mind about Tokushima. They're going to get a draw.
You think they'll get a draw out of Shimizu?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'd like to thank you all for listening or even watching for a change. It's been about a year since we did this.
I'd like to listen you all for thanking.
I think you would listen you all for thanking. As I said, J.Soccer magazine is out and about. J.Soccer magazine issue 14 will be in December, but issue 13 will be out in September. And there's a lot to talk about. So maybe we can discuss J.Soccer magazine issue 12 and what was in it.
Yes.
And what's going to be in issue 13 in part 6 of this never-ending podcast.